Hello, how are you?
I'm good, Claire. How are you?
I've got a real tickle up my nose because I just drunk some ginger beer and I can feel it. Sometimes it's like it's spicy and it's like going up, feels a little tingly. But apart from that, I'm really well.
Good,
I've got,
good.
I've been a bit of a rebel. I've got three words, but they kind of belong
Oh,
stuck together in a very beautiful way. So the little
what it,
phrase is state of mind.
mm, yeah. State of mind. Yeah, well, very practically, like what is the state of anything? So looking at, is it noisy? Is it busy? Is it whatever? Kind of interesting because it's like, oh, what are the different states of mind? And it's like, well, on a spectrum in our world, there's a spectrum of this extreme or this extreme and anything in between. And so we can have a super busy mind and a very, very quiet mind. What I kind of see about that is like it really can have not so much the state. Okay, this is interesting. Thank you for this because look at you might think that, and I know I've said it many times before, if you've got a really busy mind, it's not a great place to make right feeling decisions from, you know? But that's not always true. Let me think this moment. No, it is. I was just thinking about when.
That was so funny. No, it is.
Well, what I thought about, when there's an emergency situation, and at first, and I was thinking that at times when things are really critical, you can make a decision with a really busy mind. But actually, I just realized that's not true because what happens is in that emergency situation, this might go blah, 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 and it might be all crazy. And then something cuts through and it goes silent. And it's imperceptible, but I just kind of thought about sometimes like, oh no, it actually there is something that cuts through and it's completely quiet. And in that instant, it's almost like the quiet and the wisdom comes up in the same instant, almost inseparable. And then you know what to do. I love that because I hadn't really thought it out before. Fun. So, yeah, the state of our mind. This is so interesting. I joined a group, a membership, a very and there was a question that was asked yesterday because it's like where to start, and and it was like there was a little a little, how do I say, questionnaire, right? And it was like 1 to 10, many questions was 1 to 10, and in the end, where do you end up? And you'll know who I'm speaking to, but there's a triangle and there's sort of the foundation is this is what is necessary first, and then this, and then this. And it's like, where are you? And the second one up is space. And my number for space was like teeny tiny, which meant I have no space. And it was talking about, emails. And I just cleaned out last week 16,000 emails from both my personal and my business. And I have like 25,000 more. Yes, I don't delete. I don't delete. And I had been subscribing. I basically was filling up any space that I had. And I didn't want to, it's overwhelming. And that's what happens in your state of mind when there's so much going on in it. And at times, like if we're not interested in seeing what could be different in our life, we'll just carry on with the same noise because it's so comfortable. We're used to it. I remember, and I still really enjoy the stories that go on in my mind. I can be quite entertained by them and would love to like bring people in there to like watch the show with me because it's so cool or interesting or fascinating. Or, I mean, sometimes it's horrifying, but even that is interesting. But is it helping? Is it having you feel happy and at peace and content with your life? Is it having you clear about where you want to go and what you want to do, and you know the thing to do to get there? Or is it just so full? So when I think about state of mind, like it can really just keep you in a locked down, ugly kind of place, or meh kind of place. And really, whether it's ugly or meh, to me, they're kind of equally horrifying. So, this whole state of mind, yeah, it's an important piece of it. It shows you when you really notice how busy you are or what's going on. I could be really busy with happy thoughts, and that's okay as long as I'm feeling okay. And that's the key, isn't it? Always, what are you feeling in your body? Because your state of mind, that it's a reflection of that. So, if it's feeling good and okay, and you're making, you're doing things that, feeling good, you know, you don't even need to really think about your state of mind. But when things are not feeling good, that's an indicator too. You might want to have a peek there and just see what's going on. Or forget about even knowing what's going on. Just know that that's what's going on. You just got a busy freaking mind, and maybe you want to put your attention on something that doesn't feel so busy. Yeah, it's good. I think this could bring up a lot of different conversations. But tell me about state of mind.
Yeah, I'm noticing mine changing a lot. I think a busy state of mind can be highly addictive when you live in a busy world that has you believe that you've kind of, to fit in with our culture almost, you have to be busy, and therefore the busyness of the mind kind of follows suit, really, because I think the two come together. I don't think you can have a spacious, slow, peaceful life and have a busy state of mind. Those two things just they kind of really are connected, because that's what you create when you're busy minded. When your state of mind's busy, I am just noticing a very different feeling of it just feeling very uncomfortable now. So I was in London last week, and when I got off the train at King's Cross, which is the big station that I come into from Leeds, in London, it's very busy. You can feel it as soon as you get off the train. You can feel like London has a rushy feeling to it. It's there's just a lot of people running about, and particularly on the tube, that's often quite busy. And normally I'd step off the train and I'd be straight into dragging my suitcase at 100 miles an hour down the platform, probably knocking over a little old lady, or nearly knocking over a little, just avoiding knocking over the little old lady as I hair down. And as I got off the train, I just felt this feeling I felt the rushed feeling try to come. And then I just went, no, I don't need to do that. I'm going to be fine. And actually, my train was 10 minutes late, and I did have a certain window of time to get to something that was starting. So I knew I had to be somewhere, and I wasn't really sure where I was going. I kind of had a quick look on the tube map thing, but I just walked really slowly because it started to feel that kind of, I've got to get there, I've got to be fast sort of state of mind, busy, that started to feel, I've started to notice that so much more in my body, and it's beginning to feel a bit, I don't want to do that anymore. Finding everything, it's just slowing down. So I just pottered down the platform found myself, got down to the tube, looked at a little tube mapper thing. It told me which, got to the right. And as I arrived, the platform, a train just arrived. I mean, the tube trains do arrive every couple of minutes, so that is fairly likely. And then when I got to the next platform, I actually the platform, the side I came into, all I had to do was go like that, and it was the other platform was my next train. So that was really, I arrived in like 20 minutes before the thing started. Loads of smart. I didn't have to rush. So there's something there. Do we buy into that rush state of mind because we don't trust that we don't have to be that way? And I think chatting to a client earlier and saying, I think I've probably been rushing for about 50 years. If I'm absolutely, I am only 54. So my mum's like that, and I've learned to be like that, and it's just become so habitual for my state of mind to be in that, like going really, really fast, fizzy sort of. It's just been the norm. And I think with any state of mind, whether that's us being very anxious all the time, or very stressed, or very angry, or whatever, they just really look like the right thing to do. They just seem to make sense. They just look like a really cool way to stay safe, or to keep ourselves ingratiated with those adults around us. When we're younger, we kind of learn, this is everybody rushes around in this house, so yeah, I'm going to carry on, or everybody's angry, or everybody's this way. So the state of mind just becomes a habit. And I think I'm seeing more and more that actually the only way to see what our state of mind is to slow the chuff down.
Yeah.
Like, because if we're going fast, we won't see it. We won't see. We need to pause. I was just watching a show recently called Film Club, and the leading, one of the leading actresses in it, she said, pause stands for pause action until serenity enters.
Say it again, please.
Pause action until serenity enters. But sometimes we're going too fast to even know to do that. So we don't even see our state of mind because we don't feel the feelings, because we're too busy to stop long enough to go, oh, actually, I'm breathing really shallow, or I'm really tight around my chest area, or I've got like crazy butterflies in my stomach, or whatever it is. We have to see it. I think we need to be going slow enough to see what our state of mind is, to connect to the feelings which are guiding us, to let us know about our state of mind. We have to stop. We have to slow down enough.
Yeah. If you don't, something will happen to slow you down that you may not like.
Yeah.
Like getting an injury or sick or something. It may not even be happening to you, but somewhere in your life. I think the universe conspires to provide opportunities for you to do what is in your best interest, to maintain, or always, track back to. It's not even back to, because it's always there to reveal that state of wellness that's at our core, all of our cores. And in thinking about, even there's are times where there's a need to rush. Like if you are at a train station or in an airport or whatever it might be, where you need to meet something.
Yeah.
But even that, you can even do that with a quiet mind. It's like, oh, I need to get here. I only have this time. I need to speed up. And you kind of know how quickly you need to go. But this doesn't have to speed up. It's just an indication of, okay, I got to quicken my feet. Maybe I need to run. I don't know, whatever. Right. But it's like, even the things that we don't want to maybe live our life there, having to scurry, learning about having, and of course, if there is, sometimes it's out of our control, but oftentimes, at least for me in the past, especially with my kid, I had control over when I started to get ready. So there was ample time, even taking in potential traffic jams and stuff. It was a decision that, we can make to give ourselves the best, I suppose, opportunity to have a peaceful journey throughout our day, wherever it is, wherever we're going, or not going anywhere.
Yeah, totally. I was an absolute nightmare for that. Like fundamentally trying to squeeze a 30-minute job into a 5-minute window. That's pretty standard practice. But when I was a head teacher, I remember I'd have quite a lot of meetings I had to go out of school for, and I would, I'd just think, I'll just do this thing. I'll just get this thing finished, even though that thing didn't really need finishing and it wasn't urgent. But I was just, I'll just shoehorn this next little job, thinking I could get it done in the minutes I had left before I really did need to leave. And I always left at the last minute to go to anything. And then, of course, something would happen in school. So some child would be struggling. There'd be a behaviour issue kicking off. Now, if I'd already left the building, somebody else would have taken up that and sorted it out. But for me to then leave the building when I already knew there was something kicking off and there was something that I could help with, I couldn't do that. And so then I would be late for everything. I'm just herring in the last every time because I thought I was just always trying to squeeze more and more in to every single thing. Every single minute had to have 2 minutes worth of stuff shoved into it. So I can relate to that kind of, the decision to, I'll just squeeze this in, or I'll just have 5 minutes more in bed or whatever that we do. And that's the other thing I'm noticing. I'm slowed down enough to kind of go, I'm going to leave with loads of time to get to this thing more often and just arrive very early and just sit and chill when I get there rather than squeezing last minute tasks into a window that I don't really have.
Yeah, lovely. It's interesting because that's what I used to do when I was single and had my own, or before kids. Something happened kind of after that. Not even right away, but yeah, it's interesting how things can, just because you get other things to think about and busy it up and fill it up, and a lot of preparing, I should take this and I should take that. So it was like, a push to the end. So interesting to see that. Really great to reflect on.
Just the last thing that came to mind is that a quieter state of mind is only ever one thought away, that we'd have to make that happen. It was really foggy here this morning, and Bruce and I went for a walk, and just when we got near the end, the sun was coming out and it was just starting to burn the fog off. It didn't quite burn it off because obviously it's not light long enough at the moment for it to burn it off. But it was like we were saying, fog's one of those weathers that you can't do anything about. We have an airport near our house and it's quite high up and it quite often gets disrupted due to the weather, but the fog is the one thing you can't make. You can clear up the snow with a plow, you can put salt down, you can do things about lots of other kind. You can, if there's a lot of water, maybe you can get that swept away or whatever, but if it's foggy, you just have to wait. And so there's nothing to do, there's no state of mind regulator. It's a self-regulating system, and just like the fog, it will clear on its own. And sometimes we need to be patient rather than think that's our job to do. It will come, it will settle back down.
Yeah, just in response to that statement, because I hear it a lot, in our community about you're just one thought away. And it's just telling y'all, there's not one thought that you need to think that's going to make it go all the way. It's really about
No.
it's really about dropping that thought. And there is only one thought, because you can only think one thought at a time. May think that, oh my God, I got so much thought going on in there, but really there's just one at a time coming into your awareness. But sometimes they just come in so quick. So that one thought really is just about letting it fall away.
Definitely.
Cool. Just on this, like, this is totally unrelated, but not King's Crossing. Is that Harry Potter station?
King's Cross Station, yeah, that's where
King's Cross Station?
Yeah, you can have your photograph taken with the trolley, you know, like they have a trolley that goes.
Yes.
Yeah, platform 9 3/4 it is, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
That'll be on my bucket list.
That's
my
where you
on
can
my
have
bucket list.
There's always a long queue to
Oh, is there?
taken with the platform 9 3/4. Very King's Cross Station. That is the station.
Lovely. Yeah. And that's a state of mind too, isn't it? A magical state of mind.
Lovely.
Imagining play. State of mind. Very good. Thank you, Claire.
Yeah, that was lovely. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Next time.
Yes, you will.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
Ciao.
Bye.
Ciao.